Unfortunately, would not leave for the next 3 months.
I know they can't let me leave.
Hello, friends, and welcome back to ReddX, your source for the freshest daily cringe content anywhere on the internet. Promise, swearsies, it's just a fact, and it's totally science. Go ahead and look it up, pretty please. And you know where you can look it up? r/LegbeardStories. Even though this particular part was posted in my personal subreddit r/ReddXReads, I have officially been made a mod of the r/LegbeardStories subreddit, and we're trying to bring it back to life. It was shut down for a couple of years, but now it's back, and we're doing the thing. Look at that mod list. User Dayton does, all the way at the bottom, probably where I belong. I don't know if I'm going to be too active on that subreddit. I got my own thingy to run, but I am excited to see this subreddit back up and running. So if you guys got some Legbeard stories, you can post it over there. Maybe it gets a little more play from YouTubers who aren't ReddX. I know there's quite a few YouTubers hungry for Legbeard stories. And even though I've been the only source for a good long while, I don't want to be the only source. I want to see other people's takes on these stories. So, yeah, swing on by that Legbeard Stories subreddit if you should like. But indeed, today we are digging through my subreddit, r/ReddXReads, and it is Unfortunate. I've been told that this story is pretty ridiculously heavy, so we are going to have to tread with some caution. Take a deep breath, grab a drink, preferably an alcoholic one. We'll get some plugs and disclaimers out of the way, and then we will dive right into some of this Legbeard Stories cringe. Unfortunate, Part 20. Stay as long as you like. Ugh, FML. If you didn't mean it, then why did you say it? Oh, part 20, man. That's a nice round number for the new year. We got 13 more parts to go. Lucky number 13. I think that's significant in some way that I can't quite yet determine. Let's just see what we got. Welcome, one and all, to the single-person race for the longest Legbeard saga ever written. Stop, he's already dead.
Stop! He's already dead.
It just keeps going, man. I created this contest and I am clearly winning. Dear Christ. Not safe for work warnings do apply here. The next part is mega heavy, as I've been told. You got that drink? I hope you do. There's self-harm, suicidal tendencies, and eating disorder triggers specifically, so sorry about that, everyone. Remember that leg and neckbeard stories are gross, and this story is no exception. You have been warned. Things get ridiculously heavy in this saga. Just feel free to nope out whenever you need to. And I know that a lot of people have. I get comments all the time like, I can't stand any more Unfortunate. And I'm like, sorry, dude. We started it. We have to see it through to completion at this point. If I let it drop now, then it's just like, yeah, things were terrible for OP and they were terrible forever. But no, there's some retribution coming at the end. We just got to get through the really, really dark parts first. If you're new to this saga, I recommend checking out the Unfortunate playlist by ReddX here. Yeah, it's a playlist now. I linked it on the card at the beginning of the video. The last part before this one was here, and the next part is over here. Also, my buddy Brute has been giving her side of Unfortunate in her own recollections. Brute's Tales on Unfortunate, Part 1. And this is the list of Unfortunate survivors so far. We got First Love, Baldy, Vegan, Naruto Headbands, Vamp, Bear, Brit, Emo, Fabulous Peacock, Security Guard, Kendo, Belgian, Curly, Fetish Girl 1 and 2, and the BDSM Lawyer. For those bad in math, that is 16 victims so far, and some of them more than once. Those poor unfortunate souls. So sad, but true. It's not a musical episode, I just want to throw that in there. It's The Little Mermaid.
Poor unfortunate souls.
Anyways, we'll get into the cast. We got Unfortunate Nookie, of course, our resident legbeard, a pity succubus. If she can make you feel sorry for her, then yeah, that's basically the whole goal. If it wasn't about her, then she would make it become about her. Remember, she's winning, but totally not competing with you, cause she's not like that. Agoo! Greedy is our OP. Really just trying not to die, but still, after years of this crap, we are now at year 6 of the suffering. I'm convinced that the well-being of these two idiots is completely on me, and leaving is not an option, so I am trying. Well, good for you for that, but maybe it's time to stop after 6 years of trying. Naruto Headband, of course, is the Neckbeard who did whatever he wanted to OP. He was OP's one true love. Yeah, he totally loved her the most. He was the most caring, kindest boyfriend, and the best that I could ever hope to have. Such a nice boy, as many love to tell me, of his outwardly projected persona. But inside, he's a total psychopath. Biznatch, if you're on YouTube, because YouTube don't like them words, especially placed too close together. This is Unfortunate Nookie's friend, who used to rent her apartment as storage without paying for it, and also had a fetish for stealing guys in committed relationships, or just having three-ways with couples who were in committed relationships. I mean, the stealing, I don't call them men because they are basically boys. If you're gonna cheat, that's a little boy move. I can't sign off on any of that, but the menage, little menage a trois, if everybody's cool with it, then yeah, whatever. Who am I to judge? Biznatch basically always one-upped you with everything at the time, in every conversation, because that's a way to boost your ego, I suppose. Bastitch, if you're on YouTube, because YouTube don't like them words. That's Unfortunate Nookie's friend since elementary school. I do appreciate the edits, Greenie. That's really gonna help me out a lot. Fabulous Peacock is friend to both OP and Unfortunate Nookie. Unfortunate Nookie had tried to hit on Fabulous Peacock once upon a time after assaulting her first and was summarily rejected. So, that's the cast. I guess we go slide on into that recap. Oh, I remember all too well. But if you don't, where last we left off, Unfortunate Nookie had found a new daddy dom from a fetish website that bought her plane tickets to New York for Christmas. Oh my! She then used those tickets to go to New Jersey to hook up with her ex, Bear. Oh my! Despite Bear saying that he isn't ready to date anyone, after Unfortunate Nookie flew back home after her sexy holiday, and after some weeks of pressuring Bear with threats of ODing if he leaves her and lying about being together when they weren't, ultimately Bear caved. And now they were actually dating with Unfortunate Nookie. Wow. Just wow. Also, please notice that Unfortunate Nookie has never wanted any babies in her life. Just, for the record, in case anyone was confused or had gotten a different impression for some crazy reason or something. It's not like we spent the whole first half of the saga talking about her trying to get knocked up. I must just be misremembering all of that. Unfortunate Nookie ain't good at much, but gaslighting seems to be one of her skills. So we are into current events now, or whatever, the current part of the story. One evening during the last November that I ever spent with the Beardos, Unfortunate Nookie waltzes in to mine and Naruto Headband's place. She'd been around so often that Naruto Headband had actually started to tolerate her again. Yeah, holding a grudge for 6 years or so, that's tiring. Just let it drop. They're more like than not anyways. After an evening watching anime, Unfortunate Nookie sighs dramatically and says, I don't want to go home. My apartment is so cold. It's so quiet and lonely there. Oh no, the bait has been cast. And OP snaps it up hook, line, and sinker. OP smiles. It's alright. Stay here as long as you like. dun, dun, dun. You can sleep on the sofa tonight. Guys, I just doomed myself. I somehow still had not learned to not be so nice to freaking beards. It's a hard lesson to learn, honestly. 6 years of learning the lesson, and the lesson still ain't learned. But you are nearing the end of the rope, I do know that much, so I'm grateful for that at the very least. Unfortunately, NOOKIE would not leave for the next 3 months.
I know they can't let me leave.
How is that even possible? You could have served her an eviction notice in that time, right? I know they take a while to come through, but 3 months is a while. So yeah, November to February, she just lived in our apartment. Every time I tried to gently ask if she could please just go home, just for a little bit, no offense or anything, and I would ask this same question of anyone because abusing my hospitality to give me some time to myself, she could come back tomorrow if she wants. And of course, unfortunately, being the lovely, understanding person that she is, said, "Oh, you need some time to yourself. Okay, I guess I'll go for a little while." No, she didn't do any of that. She met that statement with some righteous indignation, which she is so good at. Unfortunately,
"Fine. If you don't ever want to see me again or be my friend, I'll just go home and kill myself so you won't have to bother with such a piece of shit ever again."
Yeah, the guilt trip. Yeah. The same card she plays every time. No matter how I tried to de-escalate or explain that that's not what I said or not what I meant, she would detail her newest sewer slide plan in response. And so, she stayed. Fabulous Peacock told me that she managed to remove Unfortunately sometimes by hiding her frustration as a joke. Fabulous Peacock would say, "You need to get the hell out of here." And she'd laugh and smile at Unfortunately and then reiterate in a kinder tone, "I'm kidding." She wasn't. "But really, it's getting late and I have an early shift, so please leave." And that somehow worked for Peacock. Yeah, throw around on a loop-de-loop. "Hey, I want you to get the hell out, but actually I'm kidding, but actually I'm not." She doesn't know up from down anymore. Just shove her out the door while she's still reeling. Fascinated, I tried it. Nope. Still threatening to drink bleach so that I wouldn't ever have to see her again. Well, I was just so tired of her crap, I still didn't want her to die, so she stayed. Yeah, she knows everybody's weaknesses. Fabulous Peacock? No nonsense. Unfortunately, obviously respects that on some level. OP, she knows she can get away with it, so she's just like, haha, you don't really mean what you just said. What are you gonna do about it? And the answer is OP is gonna do, nothing. So, how can you expect a different result, really? These 3 months were goddamn terrible on so many levels. I mean, where do I even begin? I don't know if I enjoyed or hated this, but unfortunately, rarely spoke to me. This sounds like a blessing, honestly. She wrote to me on Skype instead of using her stupid mouth to speak, which is great because less of her breath that hit 1,000 corpses. She still stunk up my living room, and when she did use her mouth hole to speak, if it wasn't another cringy, unironic, ear-piercing "Kia!", she constantly apologized for random garbage. Said,
"Sorry for opening my fridge. Sorry if I bumped into her."
She said sorry if I stood still contemplating something for too long.
"Sorry for waking up. Sorry for turning on the Wii. Sorry for sitting. Sorry for moving around. Sorry for using the bathroom. Sorry if I startled her. Sorry for sneezing. Sorry for, nothing."
I'm very sorry and I apologize for the inconvenience of me not giving up.
In actuality, she is sorry for nothing, while simultaneously being the most sorry person that I've ever seen. And I mean that in the most literal sense. So when I would ask her why she's saying sorry, it was usually some non-offensive BS thing that she was apologizing for.
Sorry for breathing.
You should be. I want an apology from your parents, not from you. It doesn't mean anything coming from you. You have your mom call me and apologize. That might be heavy, but after 20 parts, maybe it's not. Having to constantly wonder what the hell she's apologizing for and how do I explain to her that it really was okay was exhausting, and one of the reasons that contributed to my non-stop headaches. I mean, at least 50%. You're dating the other 50%. At some point, personal responsibility comes into this. I am waiting so hard for the backlash. So this all made situations like when I was alone in our bedroom crying because I was having another especially bad moment and trying to unwrap some flashbacks about how my mother died, probably how it felt to give CPR to her corpse. I made the mistake of trusting my partner and my friend to support me.
You should be honest and talk about your near and dear when you need help.
Right? Yeah, not if they're going to beat you over the head with it later, which is what a lot of friends seem to do. This is why I don't open up to like 99% of people. It's fine. I'll deal with it on my own, okay? The truth was that I had no one else. Something bad always happened when I left home, which I rarely did anymore. These two were with me all the time now. Fate worse than death. So I walked out of the bathroom to the living room where Naruto Headband was gaming and unfortunate Nookie was on her laptop doing whatever. OP. Hey guys. Both actually gave me a look, which was more than I got from them most of the time. I gathered my courage, took a deep breath, and tried to get out the words that I had rehearsed in my mind multiple times before deciding that this was the right course of action. To speak about how I feel. Oh, OP, don't do this. Throw yourself on the mercy of the beards. They're not human, dude. They don't feel human emotions. OP, I'm having a really bad day today. Just like flashbacks to when my mother died, and it just really hurts today, so I could use some support, Naruto Headband.
That makes me feel kind of bad for not noticing that you were having such a bad day.
Unfortunate Nookie.
Yeah, I feel like a terrible friend for not noticing.
OP, it's okay. I mean, I was trying to keep it together, but I just wanted to. Unfortunate Nookie then cut me off. Her face a mixture of fake sadness and honest frustration.
I feel so guilty for not noticing how you're suffering. I'm sorry for being such a piece of shit.
Whoa, flip reverse. How did this work? What the hell just happened? She somehow made it all about herself. Holy hell, dude. That is... I gotta be impressed. Oh, God. Naruto Headband adds on.
Yeah, if you just talk to us openly, we could help you. But this kind of guilting, it kind of sucks.
Oh, my God, dude. I told you, OP. I wanted the best. I tried to pull you back, but I was too late.
You're not giving me a chance to show you what a caring person I am by not letting me know how you feel. Unfortunately, he feels the same.
Oh, this is just like the whole situation in a nutshell, isn't it? God, that cracks me up. It shouldn't. It's a horrible, like, situation to be in, but, oh, man. With beards, it definitely do be like that sometimes. He looked at me, ashamed of me, like I was a child who peed their pants publicly. This conversation was not going how I hoped it would, and I was quickly losing control over where it was heading. Unfortunate Nookie adds on again.
Yeah, maybe we should just leave since we're such horrible friends. Why are you blaming us for feeling bad, OP? It's not like we killed your mom.
Whoa! Holy hell, dude. How do you not explode at that point? How do you not just wring both of their fat freaking necks? I couldn't hold myself back, man. This whole story would have ended with a murder-suicide in part 20. I was confused. I was exhausted. And somehow, this was my new normal. I saw it. They were making this all about themselves, and I couldn't believe it. I couldn't handle it. I just wanted a damn hug. I'll hug you, OP. God damn, I hate this. I'm the first to tell you that I am not adept at picking up on social cues, but this is like the bare minimum. I told you, they are not human. But there was just no room, because I was the crappy person for daring to make them feel like bad friends, since I gave them no chance to help me. How about this is the chance, right here, what I'm telling you right now? Yeah, while I was in the very process of giving them that chance. But they were escalating things, and I needed to shoulder all the blame. Be the responsible one, like I always was. I'd emotionally die inside to just coddle them into it being okay. I want you to fight, I want you to run, I want it to be anything but what it is. But unfortunately, we're gonna have to wait, 12 more parts, 13 more parts before that actually happens. How much worse can it get, honestly? Of course, I knew that they meant well. Did they, though? Of course, they didn't want to hurt my mom. That would be ridiculous to claim, and I was sorry for making them feel bad. We don't have to talk about it. It's fine. It'll all be fine, and you could just ignore me. Don't worry about it. OP's so sarcastic in her writing. It's really fun. I don't know how much more you can bottle up, honestly, OP. Like, this bottled emotion is gonna end with showers of hate-filled splinters of glass. And I hope both Naruto Headband and Unfortunate Nookie suffer the very worst parts of that. Satisfied that I wasn't bothering their day anymore, they returned to their activities. Yeah, good friends they are. I had just tried to open my heart and got stabbed. Instead of lightening my load, they piled on. And this kind of thing happened to me all the time now. As a result, I shut off more and more. I'm an optimistic, cup half full kind of person, so I did try many times. Despite this pattern repeating, where I wanted support for my emotional baggage, but every time I brought it up, it was made into their issue, which they wouldn't even have if I wasn't making such an unnecessary scene. How dare I? Everything I said or did that they didn't agree with, I was bullied into dropping. They also constantly used me as a dumping ground for the traits about themselves that they didn't like. I do take some heart in the fact that they were never able to break OP down 100%. I talked to Greenie in the Reforming a Neckbeard comments, and I'm like, I don't know what the hidden agenda for this guy is for wanting to reform this neckbeard. And she's like, can't the agenda just be that you want to make other people feel good? And therefore, you get a good feeling for yourself. And I'm like, I don't know. I'm still cynical, but the fact that OP isn't is really brave, honestly. It takes a lot more bravery to be like, I believe things can be good rather than, cynicism and pessimism. And you just be like, well, it's probably going to go terrible. And then if it doesn't, you're happy because it didn't go terrible. And if it does go terrible, then you're like, see, I was right all along. Optimism is brave. And luckily, OP still has that. But yes, at this point, the Beards would pelt her with all kinds of things. I was bad at video games. I was bad at cooking and baking. I couldn't draw. I sucked at martial arts. My dogs didn't like me as much as Unfortunate. I was fat and ugly, and I was violent and irrational, and I was mean and yelled at people for no reason, and I never knew where I needed to be and when. I couldn't hold down a job. I was impossible to please. I was difficult to talk to. I couldn't take a joke. I lied constantly. I never meant what I said. I thought I was better than them. I hurt them on purpose because I enjoyed it. I had no friends. I never did anything for them. I didn't care enough. It's just an endless barrage. But of course, if they did what they wanted, I could be tolerated. I honestly lost my grip on reality. Most things now had two ways of seeing them. The wrong way, which was how I felt or how I viewed a situation, and the right way, which was whatever those two said was true. To attempt thinking in the wrong way was a painful route that always landed back into the right way anyway. Both existed at the same time in my mind, and nothing really made sense to me anymore, and I didn't trust myself at all. I didn't even know who I was anymore. I had all of these bad qualities about me that I didn't recognize at all, and the way that I saw the world constantly affirmed to me that I was wrong. I hope you can understand how badly all of this screwed me up. Never been through it, but you definitely have my sympathies. Does not sound like an easy thing to just shoulder. Like I said, I would have exploded much sooner rather than later. I don't know how you put up with this for literal years. Neither could I believe that I'm a good person, because no one could be better than they themselves were. Naruto Headband said that he's the best that I could get, remember? He genuinely believed that no one in the world was nicer than him. Nookie grew up with Biznatch and Bastich, and her constant lying about everyone and her expectation of being betrayed at any moment was normal to her. It was as good as she could conceive of people being, so she kept laughing at me that I'm pretending to be better than I am, or trying to impress the world, whatever that's supposed to mean, when I genuinely wanted to help them and others, and I had good things to say about people, or genuine empathy towards others, etc. Yep, it's just not part of her worldview. She's like, nope, this isn't how I was raised. There must be another motivation behind all of that, which is another form of damage. You know what I mean? People aren't born cynical. Children aren't born cynical. This is something that is beat into them over years. So at least on that front, I do understand why she's looking for the hidden motivation. As I said earlier, I'm always looking for the hidden motivation. I don't trust nobody. Now, I don't think that I'm a good person. I've done some stuff that I'm not proud of, some of which is coming up in this saga, but I have values that I aim to abide by, and I take care of my own. I try to take no crap, but also do no harm. Let's be real, OP, you're taking a lot of crap. Back then, I basically did no harm, but took all of the crap, and I was loyal and took care of you as best I could if you were one of mine. And unfortunately, these two were, mine. For some reason. I placed value on friendship if it had lasted a long time, just because it had lasted a long time. Pro life hack number 5, just because someone has managed to hang around you for years, doesn't mean they deserve to hang around you for years. I'm all about that, man. I'll cut people off for literally no reason. I'm like, it doesn't seem like a mutually beneficial relationship anymore, and let's just both stop kidding ourselves, shall we? Regardless, my daily compliments and making food and getting them their favorite snacks, tidying up, etc., any and all of these things I did for these two were instantly forgotten and meaningless if I didn't give them whatever the thing they wanted was right now. It's as if they reset or wiped all kindness from their memory when they couldn't have the one thing right now. Naruto Headband didn't give a damn about the meal that I made that he was still eating, while he complained that I had never done anything for him if I said no to the sex that he wanted right now. Unfortunately, didn't seem to realize that she was wearing clothes that I had given or bought for her, while of course also eating the food that I made on my sofa if I didn't buy her boyfriend the plane tickets that she wanted for him right now. More on that later. God, they're just such awful people. Holy God. At a certain point, you do have to laugh about it or you just go crazy. I'd never done anything for either if I didn't please all of their needs right now. It didn't matter if I challenged this or pointed out proof of my kindness. They still whine that they need their thing now. Or, you know, that I was the worst person ever, or a crap friend, or a garbage partner, etc. I shouldn't hang on to the past. I need to prove what I was willing to do for them right now, or forever be undeserving of any kindness. Yeah, somehow they just know how to push all the right buttons. You're caught in this endless negative feedback loop. Well, negative for OP. It's positive for the beardos. And yes, through the filter of abuse, it's hard to just see things logically and be like, what you're saying is not true. But rest assured that the filter won't stay up forever. Unfortunately, he also gave me anxiety with how touchy-feely she was. She'd sit so close that I would start to wonder if it was my breath that smelled. Like I just had fish scales stuck on my teeth for weeks. Oh, God. Bad dental hygiene is really one of the things that gets me the worst. It's right up there with rotting food. Poop and coom, I mean, I can deal with that relatively easy, but scaly teeth. Oh, God, what are you doing? Oh, no, wait. That smell was just unfortunately inches away from my face, randomly screaming my ear off. Again. She'd randomly glomp or hug me, usually while also trying to tickle me, but really it was just scratching me with her long nails. Isn't this fun for you? No, please, I hate it. If only you could say it with a straight face during a tickle fight. Pain and laughter are like pretty similar sounds when someone's tickling the hell out of you. Which, by the way, these nails hurt me a lot because my sides are pretty sensitive, so I told her straight up not to, and that I really dislike it, but it was basically as if I had never said a word for her. She just used my body for comfort whenever she felt lonely or sad. At least she and Naruto Headband seemed to reject each other. I don't really recall them ever touching, as far as I saw. I really do like hugs, but I also really started to hate being touched when all of this physical contact that I ever got was always against my wishes and only for the benefit of others. Ugh, it's such a bad look. Unfortunately, had gained a lot of weight while she was with Curly and in the US. Welcome to America. Eat this cheese. Meat and cheese, buddy. She started to lose it rapidly and obsess over calories and constantly speak about
How fat she was!
She also insulted or moaned at people eating high-calorie foods or commenting that
The amounts of things everyone were eating was gross!
I actually don't know if she is why I started to not eat or if I had inspired her, but knowing her, she probably did copy me. But what I do know is that I could not control my body. I was being used by Naruto Headband for sex, by Unfortunate for comfort. I couldn't even express my feelings. It hurt more to open up than it hurt to keep it in. I felt like I was some kind of robot or tool. I cooked, I cleaned, I said empty platitudes, I encouraged and supported. If I ever did something for me or resisted what was wanted of me from Naruto Headband and Unfortunately, then I was quickly guilted and shamed back into the desired patterns of behavior. Only if I did what was wanted could I have peace. And God, I needed peace so desperately. I was practically crying in grateful tears for not getting punished. Yeah, being a robot sounds really cool in theory, but it probably is not as much fun as it sounds. If you have to do it for like a long time, if you're not allowed to go back to being human, then I don't want to be a robot no more. So I started controlling the one thing that I could, food. My last grab at autonomy and control. I kept cutting things out, skipping meals. I started buying and eating laxatives. To anyone out there with eating disorders, do not do this. It also actually doesn't help you lose any weight either. It almost killed me, and it can kill you to eat them for any reason other than being constipated. I'll explain more later in this story, but please, take it from someone who almost died this way. Don't do it. I mean, yeah, can it dehydrate you? It's like the same as getting food poisoning or something, right? The Hershey squirts ain't fun. This is not a form of entertainment. Unless everything else has been taken away, I guess. I don't mean to, laugh at your pain, OP. It is horribly sad, but like you said, if we can laugh at it, then the healing starts or something like that. Unfortunately, was losing weight to feel pretty or to be more childlike.
Jailbait! Tee-hee!
Ooh, woo, ooh, goo. I didn't care about how I looked. I had bigger problems than aesthetics. I wanted someone to notice that I was hurting and save me. If I get thin enough, I thought, maybe someone will notice how bad I'm feeling and help me. I had lost words. Words hurt me when I tried to use them. I just felt like not eating was my last resort. I couldn't think of anything else anymore. Oh, God, that's heavy. Someone, please, see me. Help me. I need help, but I can't speak. OP, my heart does go out to you. I know you said way early on that you didn't want sympathy, but you've painted such a picture, put us all inside of your head to a point that a lot of people are uncomfortable. A lot of people have noped out. But through all of this suffering, remaining as strong as you are, I see great strength. Like, I don't think that I would be able to do any of this without completely exploding and burning the whole house down. You know what I mean? This is a wild journey, a hurtful journey. It's a really hard journey to stomach, but it is fascinating in its way. Unfortunately, demanded daily weight and measurement checks. She needed to know which one of us had lost more weight, and she would throw a fit every time I had gotten skinnier than her. And if she was skinnier than me, then she'd poke my stomach or my sides and call me
a flabby and chubby
while grinning. This has given me a still present trauma that I can't stand being touched on my stomach or sides. If I seemed hurt, she said,
she was only joking, and to not take everything so seriously.
And then suggested that we play more Wii Fit to make it better. If I burned more calories on Wii Fit than her, she needed to play one more round just to outdo me. I just let her. This wasn't a competition for me, which annoyed her that I'm
trying to be better than her and above her.
Many anorexics say that they have an imaginary friend, Anna, who tells them to keep going. Well, I had, unfortunately. At some point, I gathered enough balls to tell her, no, I'm not telling her my weight or measurements anymore. They don't even really matter to me, which was partially true. It wasn't about my appearance, it was all about control. And of course, that righteous indignation boiled up again, and this angered her.
She didn't know who was winning if I refused to play.
She claimed that I made her worse by not letting her know. Obviously, I was just doing this to hurt her, like with everything else I did. Here's an excerpt directly from our Skype chats. Skype chats while you guys were living in the same house. Which is about as ridiculous as it sounds. Not the using Skype part, although that is ridiculous too. Whatever, different time, you know. Unfortunately.
Oh, and the weight issue. Once again, deliberately going out of your way to not share information, because I will make it into a contest. It'll sure as hell make me more obsessed about that.
OP? Oh, like knowing would not make you want to lose more weight when all my weight loss is done is make you feel even more insecure, even though my body has literally nothing to do with yours. I don't think it would have made things any better if you knew. And if you need to learn to not compare yourself to me or anyone else, you're you, and you're beautiful as you are. That's a nice lie. Just keep repeating that one. Unfortunately,
I even threw out the simple as hell question. Do you weigh less than me? Which you refuse to answer. It's yes or no, but instead, who I'm not telling.
OP, if I said yes, then you would have freaked out. If I said no, then you would have been smug. Like when you won something, when the whole thing has nothing to do with you. Unfortunately.
You do realize it's the same thing as basically putting a big red button in front of me and constantly yelling, "You're not supposed to press that, okay?" Smug? Sure, whatever. Sure, you know me. It's just getting more and more apparent how little you actually do know. Biznatch, for instance, weighs precisely 4 kilos less than me right now. She's a little taller than me, and yes, I sometimes do envy her, but we both leave it at that.
OP, I heard from you that she regularly rubs it in your face. There you go, some bite back, finally. Nookie proceeded to give me the silent treatment after that. We let him think we don't like it. But she was still on my sofa, which is the most ridiculous part, glaring daggers at me, and then crying when the daggers did nothing to me. Naruto Headband only had one thing to say about my sudden weight loss. You're easier to bag when you're skinnier. Yeah, okay. That's one point in the... Is that a pro or a con? I'm not sure. How do you quantify that? I can't accurately express how alone and abandoned I felt when my convoluted way of crying for help went entirely unnoticed. The more pain inside piled on without release, the more I'd try to get back to words, but of course that was always turned against me. How dare I make them feel bad by daring to hurt? So I added cutting myself to my new hobbies. And pretty quickly I lost control with it. It became an addiction. Sometimes I punished myself. Sometimes I was just so numb and drowning in suicidal ideation that I did it to feel something. Anything. Even if it was just pain. Sometimes I did it because I was addicted to it, and it always just made me feel even worse. In the moment, only for a fraction of a second, because of the endorphins, I would feel a tiny bit better, and then there were just hours and hours of misery. If you do this, please don't hurt yourself. From personal experience and from the bottom of my heart, as a feeling, empathetic human being to another, do not hurt yourself. Please. When I did it, I felt really guilty and confused, and I also knew that I couldn't stop. It was the best I had back then. It became a metaphor for my relationship with Unfortunate Nookie and Naruto Headband because they, too, were like self-harm. I turned to it as a desperate grab at making things right, and all it did was make me feel worse. I'm gonna go ahead and pin a comment for people who might need some mental health services. If you are cutting yourself, hurting yourself in any way, please do take advantage of those toll-free hotlines pinned at the top of the comment section. While I too am a feeling empathetic human being, I'm not a trained professional. So I feel like the best that I can really do is point you towards a trained professional instead of telling you, no, don't do that, because that rarely, if ever, works. Why were the people who were supposed to have my back making me feel worse? Why was my savior also my abuser? Both of them said, "It's your fault." They're right. It must be. God, how bad of a person am I? I need to fix that. And I'd stare at the blood trickling down from my skin and wonder, when did it all go so wrong? I didn't know any other way out anymore, other than death, but I was too chicken to do that. I was suicidal. I played with the idea of it every day. Unfortunately, my exit plans weren't as mirth-raising as Unfortunate Nookie's doorknob, or, well, we'll get to her feeding herself to the sharks plan, eventually. That sounds ridiculous. All of that was heavy. Remember to pet something cute and fluffy, and remember, you are loved, you are worthy, you definitely deserve it. And please, don't hurt yourself. It never solves anything, and there are people out there who will give you a hug and the support that you need. And I am alive to tell this story. Next segment, some more levity with Unfortunate Nookie starting to see ghosts. OMG, dude! Whoa, crazy! I think we could use some levity after this one. I was bracing myself, but I still wasn't quite ready. So I'm looking forward to the levity. Yes, please, thank you. We are all finally circling down the drain towards the end, and it got super bad. I literally broke before I gave up on these beards. And if this story frustrates you, good. Know that even if you give beardos yeardos, they will not change. Get out. Don't be OP. Learn from my mistakes, children. Flee, you fools! Fly!
Fly, you fools!
Yes, let this be a lesson to one and all. And always remember, laughter is the music of the soul. If you can laugh at it, you can get over it. Also, aim to shower daily because it's good for you. Greenie out. Holy hell, man, that is a story. I don't even know how to feel about it quite yet. This is absolutely one of the darkest Unfortunate parts that we've seen, and I guess it's always darkest before the dawn, but knowing that we've got 13 more parts before dawn finally comes, I might have to take another little break from it. This was a lot to handle. I mean, I hope that you guys were able to enjoy the video in some form or fashion, but it's so heavy. God, dude. I will say that it works wonders for putting you into the shoes of someone who is actively being abused, understanding where they're coming from, why they can't just run away. Like most of us are just like, yeah, just leave. It's that easy. Well, no, it's really not, because the human brain is a tricky thing. So hopefully if you are in a situation like this, if you somehow see somebody in a situation like this, you can pull them out as soon as possible, because nobody should have to go through this. This is so sad. But regardless, I gotta do my horror stuff, and I hope you like, comment, and or subscribe on the video if you did enjoy it. Maybe share it around. Probably not, though. There's funnier parts to share around than this. This is a heavy thing to drop on social media. We've also got a bunch of links in the description, plugs, playlists, podcasts. Hey, check me out. Social medias, Twitter, Discord, Facebook. Yes, indeed. We've also got my Patreon and my gorgeous, wonderful, beautiful, generous patrons. I'd like to thank them, Jerry much. That should cheer me up. So thank you. Robert Waits, Baron Von Waggy Pants, Jarhead Jerry, Oorah, Logan Wolf, River Jerry, blah, 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 Comrade Ingy, Jerry Four Fingers, a.k.a. Dr. Trips, a.k.a. Warlock Jerry, a.k.a. Grateful Jerry. Regardless, Happy New Year, ReddX, your fam and your fans. Cooler than a polar bear's toenails. Andre 3000. Captain Cloud Jerry. Hog Hog. Aaron W. Twisted Child. Cinnamon Susie. For Auld Lang Syne. It is a new year. Fire Drink. Giggle Jerry. Hee hee. Ireri. The most different Jerry spelling. Happy New Jerry. Jarry the Pirate. Rogue, Silent Revolver, the OG Jerry. Y'all know that guy. Becca, Jerish Kitsune, Little Lone Wolf, Matthew Simmons, Satori, 211 Jerry, The Return of Jerry, the bundle of Jerrys, they're coming for your toes, look out, a Jerry, a Juggling Jerry's, a Justy Jargonian Jerry, Alunia, Althea, Anunnaki, Assassin Pug Jerry, Bang Bang, Atheist Jerry, he's so euphoric, Aurora Wildheart, Grizzly, Bailey Joy, Bearded Jerry, watch out for that guy, Bitch Gremlin. Blade the Hero, Blameless Fish, Blip Blip Jerry, Camille Sarah, Commander J Tank, Dennis Dayton, Dinosaur Nightlight, Disposable Waifu, Aaron Lennox, Frozen Over Studios, Go Go Jerry Rangers, you mighty bearded marble rolling Jerry Rangers, or Mr. J. You know that guy. Gypsy, hey Dream BR, have a minty new year, Jerry's. Aw, too fresh. Heathcliff, I'm Slim Jerry, yes, I'm the real Jerry. All you other Slim Jerrys are just imitating. So won't the real Slim Jerry please sub to Patreon? Oh, you did. Okay, cool. Got it. Itchy nuts. Just scratching, bro. A pimp named J Crisp. Yes, you have to say the whole thing. J.M. Coon, Jennifer Schaefer, Jerry Blacktail, Jerry Bowberry, Banana Fana Fall Fairy, Fee Fi Mo Mary, Jerry. I like it's Mary. Yeah, Mary, New Year. Is that right? Jerry the Small Jerry to the other Jerrys, and that's a Jerry fact. Jerry the Outlaw Mother Trucker, honk honk. John Hero, John Jerry Jingleheimer Schmidt. Hey, that's my name too. Jolly Black Jerry. Simboofa, cause if your boofing is free, KJW Kajow. Crewhee, Miss Monday, Lord Jerryo, leader of the Thunder Jerrys. Lady Jerry Dax, is Jerry ribbed for her pleasure, even though she won't appreciate you. Jackets roll. Melgar the Destroyer, Mr. Carrot 797, God of Veggies. Natari, Nightmare Jerry, oh no, Origami Jerry Steve, congrats on the marriage. Panda Prince Jerry Bamboo, Patreon Saint of Chicken Nuggets, Saint Jerry Ramen. Phantom of the Pies, Jerry Kids and Jerry Beth, Ramtide Lacrimates, Rose Jerry Miller, TSM Kirby, Sarita the Lolita, Saucy Octopus, welcome to the fold, Serrated Ash, Staples, aka Jerry Yeet, Stephanie Goodner, Synaptic Boomstick, Brilliant Tomago, Teddy the Police, 10-Ton Monster, the One True Fusky, Tom! What is the Jerry on the inside that counts? Church, Treeberg, Vigilante Justice, Viking Jerry. We lock Marble Jerry in the attic to keep her from wandering around, but don't worry, they got chicken tendies up there. Oh good, I was worried. What does the beard say? Will Banks, Comrade Mooney, Kira, you're a wizard, Jerry. Redwind Goose says honk. Jerry, Atrick, Naga Viper, Cy Jerry the Cyborg, Saint's Blessing, a normal Jerry. A Jerry without his marble, still a Jerry, but what is a marble without its Jerry? Maybe still a marble, but tree falls in the forest, you know what I'm saying? Hunter of Jerry's, Devour of all things tasty, it is Tom, Admiral T, Tank, Alunia, Amara, Atomic Jerryzilla, AZ, Babsy-Coon, Banished Knight, Barbushka's Irradiated Jam, Broken Spine Horseradish, Cake Jerry, the original different Jerry, California Jerry Girl, yeah, Canadian Links, Chevron 7 Locked, Cha-Cha-Cha-Chia, Jerry, Chris Meska, Cinnamon Bunny Dog, Corporal Admiral, Furry Warrior Woo Jerry, Cryptides, Cuban Jerry, Defon Jerry. Did you ever hear the tragedy of Darth Thomas the Wise? I thought not. It's not a story that the Jerry would tell you. Dopamine Dangerous. Overdose. Electrical Fun. Yeah, that's him. Ghost of Alpha. Give him both inches. He cannot. HMT Mayor. Holy Berry Jerry, Hydra Jerry, Jeffrey, my name is Jeffrey, Tom and Jerry versus Happy New Year's Werebeard Apocalypse. I don't know why that turned into a song. Jerry and the Subaru STI, Jerry Binks, Misa like your name, Jerry's evil twin brother, Terry. Jerry Aldo Rivera. Check out that mustache. Jerry Bean. Yum. Jerry Roxas. Yay. Jerry Role-Playing Game. Fun. Judge Jerry and Executioner. King Tom. Smasher of Jerry Zillas. Now we gotta fight. Kitsakin, Crafty Kitty Cat, Life of a Guardian, Little Ann Woods, Lucia Lovecraft, maybe next time, Midnight Sun, Milk-Fed Gimp, Miss Duchess, Not Invisible Angel, I see you, One-Legged Jerry hopping into a new year. Oh, so glad you made it, friend. Organic Cam, Ghosty, Raptor Art, ReddX, Dive into Jerry. It's the best slogan. She's my Jerry Pie, go drink a Mountain Dew and a big surprise. Smitty Warren Yegerman Jensen. Oh, Schmitty. He's related to Jeffrey. Snary, the Snom Jerry, Spoony the Rogue, Spoopy Scary Jerry Tons. It's a little out of season, but I'll allow it. Steampunk Ellie, the Necro Jerry Con, the original Jerry, not to Infinite Jerry and beyond. Definitely. Tuna Fish Jerry, Aquarium Escapee, Zestaboo Jerry, Tom Promise Jerry swears. Oh no, bad Jerry. Tom be a good boy, don't swear. It's just fact. It's holy science. Dogs are going crazy. Go ahead and look it up. I would also like to thank my $1 patrons, beautiful people that they are. Thank you guys all so much for supporting on the Patreon. Holy heckers, this was quite an episode to ring in the New Year's. Super sad, but also super long, so I guess that's something. Obviously, I do hope some more people will consider joining up on the Patreon in 2022. But if you can't do it right now, don't sweat it too hard, friends. I just appreciate you coming on through, hanging out with me. And I hope that you come on back and hang out with me again tomorrow. Because really, the views is how my beard stays buttered. In order to do so, you need to keep yourself safe out there, wash your hands, but also take some time out and do something that you personally enjoy today. Maybe like watching some more ReddX videos. That is a good idea. Always remember, friends, always remember that you are loved, you are worthy, and you definitely deserve it. Look at me in my eyes. You definitely deserve it, all right? I will see you in the next one, friends. And until then, bye-bye. I don't have any eyes, actually.